What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Sunday, November 17th, 2024. My name is Chris Drummond. I'm a freelance sports reporter based out of Minnesota here. And I'm also working sales and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why of getting into their occupation and also get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a special guest that's going to be coming on with me today. Her name is Ashley Soriano. Talk to her about her why, get to know her a little bit, break bread with her from one person who's a reporter to another. So without any further ado, I introduce to you the wonderful, the talented, and the beautiful Ashley Soriano. Good morning. How you
Hi.
doing? How you doing today?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for inviting me onto this.
No, no question about it. I just want to say thank you for allocating your time to me to come on my podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder. How's your weekend been going so far?
Yeah, pretty standard. So I work overnight shifts on the weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So all I've been doing is working and sleeping. So
Oh, that's right. Well, thank you for getting up with me this morning. Really do appreciate that. I'm certain that we talked on Instagram for sure.
we
That is
did.
good to talk to you and love to hear your why and your story of getting into journalism. No question
Yeah.
about it. I would love that.
Yeah.
With that being said, though, I want to, as I always do, Ashley, with everybody that I have on here on my Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, the first question is, what is your why? What is your why of getting into journalism? Did you have any role models? Did you have any inspirations growing up? But what is your why of getting into the journalism industry?
Yeah, my childhood dreams and plans have actually always been to go into law, but I discovered the journalism industry in high school when my sophomore year of high school, I realized, oh, there's a newspaper class. And so I joined just to, get involved in different things, and I realized I loved it. And then by the time it was time to look at colleges, I knew the University of Georgia has an amazing journalism
Mm,
school, the Grady
yep,
College of Journalism.
yep.
And just growing up in Georgia, it just seems like the logical next step. So I majored in journalism. I also majored in international affairs, but I just really delved deep into the journalism industry once I was in college. And it really just took off from there. I'm really blessed in my early career after college. But just getting into that industry, I've really enjoyed meeting new people in different communities.
Hmm.
Reporting has taken me all over the US and even in Mexico on the US Mexico border. Um,
Okay.
and just hearing these people's stories who I would not have met if I was in another career has been the most amazing part. And I would not be where I am if it weren't for the people in my circle advocating for me. I believe you
Mm,
are your own best advocate, but
absolutely.
it's easier and it feels really great when you know you have people supporting you. So my role model in this industry has been my TV broadcast professor my last semester of college. Um, and she's really inspired me and kept me going even at the times. This industry is hard. It's mentally and emotionally challenging, and people not
Sure.
in this industry, they might not realize that. So she has been somebody I have gone to text or call when I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to quit, and she encourages me not to. At the same time, I tell her about all my accomplishments. And so I would definitely, her name is Dodie Cantrell. I should really say her name. Dodie Cantrell has been,
I was going to ask that for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I really praise her for helping me get to where I am.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, shout out to Miss Doty. And I'm very familiar with University of Georgia as well as I graduated college out in Georgia as well. Not UGA, but Kennesaw State University. Not sure if you know about that, but
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
that was my school for sure. Okay. Speaking of UGA, were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going to UGA?
Yeah, ever since I was a child, I wanted to go to the University of Texas and I wanted to move out there. And I don't know if you want to call it a funny story, but in my applications to college, I did apply to UGA, really thinking I would go there just because, scholarships being in state and all of that. But
Right.
I started to apply to University of Texas, and I guess I didn't realize until a whole year later that I never submitted the application.
Oh,
So here I am thinking, oh, well, I guess I didn't get it. And I never
right.
submitted the application. Um, and
Hmm.
then I also was looking at Emory University at the time. I did get in, but again, just going back to, there were so many factors, but also UGA, of course, is an amazing football school. So as a student, that experience was great. And now that I'm an alum of UGA, I truly believe it's the best college, best football team. The SEC is the best conference. You can't convince me otherwise.
And I'm not even gonna try. So I'm totally with you on that, no question about it. You even got your UGA colors on today, which is great. That's amazing. And yeah, Emory, another school in Georgia, which is a great school, no question about that. Wow, that is a that is a fascinating story. Like you're just waiting all this time, like, man, I have not heard back from them. Like, what's going on? This is a little weird. It's almost been a
Yeah.
year.
And then you know what? I also ended up applying to a master's program there after graduating and
Okay,
didn't get in, but I really believe that rejection is redirection, and that has come up in so many different aspects of my life, which I'm happy to talk about the more that you and I speak today.
sure.
But yeah.
Okay. Now, did you apply to any other master school outside of Texas?
Yeah, so going back to school has been something on my list for a couple years now.
Okay.
I decided to go to Northwestern University, their
Mhm.
Medill Journalism School, back in 2020. So I graduated December 2019, and then the fall of 2020, I had planned to go to Northwestern for a master's in journalism. We know what
Right.
happened in 2020,
We
COVID.
do.
Um, and everything was going to be online. So I made the tough decision to give up my spot. I went into the workforce, worked as a professional journalist on air, on TV, local
Mhm.
news stations, and national. And then it always stayed on my mind. So I am now at Northwestern as a full-time grad student, in addition to working full-time. So just like your podcast says, work hard, play hard. I will say right now I'm working hard, not so much playing hard, but
That's
maybe
okay.
maybe in the
That's all right.
future.
I'm Ashley. I hope so, because that's very damn hard to do. Full time work, full time school, no question about that. I'm also a master's student as we speak. I graduate May of 25. I'm actually going to my alma mater, which is Kennesaw State. So I'm actually getting
Amazing. Congrats.
professional. Thank you so much, and congrats to you for getting in Northwestern. We know that's one of the most prestigious journalism schools in America. So that's no question about that. So I love hearing that. Love hearing that you kept at it for sure.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been kind of tough to go from go dogs to go cats. The
mm,
football experience is a little different, but go cats at this time in my life.
absolutely. Well, Illinois is a whole different beast. Other than Georgia. That's just no question.
Yeah.
I was born in Illinois because my mother and father was raised in Chicago. So I don't know if you're familiar with the hospital of Cook County Hospital out there, but that's where I was born. So I have a lot of family that's over there as well. Plus, Chicago um, is getting so much attention now with a lot of different events that's going on there.
Yeah.
NABJ was just there over the past summer, which I went to. They got a lot of podcast conventions coming up as well that I'm probably going to be checking out there. I know a couple for sure that's going to be in Chicago. So yeah, Illinois is getting a lot of traction right now for sure.
Oh yeah, Chicago definitely. And I feel like social media has a role to play in that, with all these travel bloggers. And I
Mhm.
fell victim to that myself. I saw the videos. I visited Chicago for the first time ever last year for my birthday. It was a solo trip. I fell in love, and here I am living here now.
Love it. I love it, Ashley. I really do. Okay. Well, listen, I got some favorite questions that I want to ask you, and you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. Are you with
Oh,
me?
I'm nervous.
You know what? You're gonna be so good. You're gonna be so good. Here we go. First one is favorite meal you like to cook.
Ooh, let's see. So I love cooking. I think it's a form of
Mm,
therapy.
really?
I always cook this chili. It's called Mexican chili. What makes it Mexican? I don't know. More so the ingredients of
Mm.
black beans, pinto beans, salsa, bell pepper, all of that. When it comes to cooking, it comes down to the seasoning. You don't need to measure that seasoning. You just go do 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 do, and it tastes good. So that's what I like to cook.
Okay, I'm with you on that totally. And I'm a huge chili person. I don't know if you like to put cheese in your chili. I don't know if you
Yeah.
like to have a lot of meat in your chili, but yeah, definitely, I'm with you on that.
No, no me. I'm a vegetarian. I'm annoying.
That's okay. That's all right. Listen, that means more meat for me, more vegetables for you. That's awesome. That's what it
That's a
means.
positive way to look at it.
Absolutely, absolutely, no question. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh, this is hard because I cannot tell you how many concerts I have attended. Like,
Mhm.
I used to live in Las Vegas, if that tells you anything. Um,
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I want to say Chris Brown. I saw him in Las
Hmm.
Vegas and I was close to the front row and I have been a fan of his of his music since middle school. I'm now 27. So that was just like a moment that my teenage self needed to have.
Absolutely. Seeing Breezy live is something different. I would definitely say that I've been to plenty of concerts myself, but one of my favorites was Alicia Keys. I'm a huge
Ooh, that
R&B
would be a
person,
good
so
one.
yeah, she was amazing. No question about it. So I
I just
love.
saw I just saw a video. I don't know how old it is, but she was driving around as a Lyft driver and she was kind of disguised and didn't look like herself. And
Mhm.
then she surprised the passenger and she's like, "Do you know who I am?" And they're like, "Oh my gosh, Alicia Keys."
Really, I gotta watch that. No, I've never
Yeah.
seen that before. That's pretty amazing. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
before
it.
we move on, I have to take back my previous answer. I'm a huge The Weeknd fan, and I saw his most recent concert tour,
Mhm.
After
Mhm.
Hours until Till Dawn, and
Yep.
that hands down was the best. So I don't know. I'm sorry, Chris, but I gotta move on to The Weeknd for that.
That's okay. That's okay. We are absolutely good. You can always pivot on any answer that you do. And did you see it there in Chicago? Because I actually saw the weekend in Chicago.
No way. That would be so cool. I saw him in Las Vegas. So he filmed one of his music videos there, Blinding Lights, in
Yep.
a red blazer suit, and he
Yes.
wore it for the last time ever at that concert in Las Vegas. So
Wow.
I guess that
Okay.
doesn't matter to people unless they're a fan of his.
You know what? I'm a huge fan of the weekends. I personally my favorite. I mean, it's hard for me to say a favorite album of his because all of his stuff is really good. But
Yeah,
I've known him since Wicked Games, like even back then. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I've been
same
following
here.
him for a long time. But the Starboy album, every time I play that album, it's like I play it from beginning to end because it's really good. It's
Oh,
really
I
good.
do that with all of his albums. Like Trilogy, it's like over
Ooh,
2 hours
yeah.
long, I think.
Yes,
I
it
just
is.
fall asleep to it every night.
Yes, it is. Yes, trilogy. He has the Dirty Diana song that I love. That's one of
Yes,
my favorites of his for sure. No question. Okay,
amazing.
you got some good taste, girl. I like that. Here we go. We're gonna keep it going. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Mm. If I didn't currently live here in Chicago, I think I would say Chicago. That still kind of rings true, but I think I'll have to say Honolulu, Hawaii. Um,
Ooh, okay.
I I still need to do a lot of traveling outside of the US, but in the US, Chicago and Honolulu take the cake for me.
No question. Definitely went on. I had a family trip to Hawaii. I'm not sure what your trip was, but yeah, family trip to Hawaii. That was amazing. I think my place changed as about 3 weeks ago because I went on a cruise. My dad set it up, and I was like, "Cool, this is great." Cayman Islands. There's nothing like the Cayman Islands. That
Oh
was
my gosh, that's
that was
probably so
amazing.
pretty.
Yeah, the water was really blue. The bluest I've ever seen it. Swimming, sorry, not swinging, but swimming with the stingrays and the dolphins. That was just an experience that was like none other. And I went to Cabo San Lucas and had a really good time there too, way back when. But man, that Cayman Islands was just amazing. So
Oh my gosh, I have to do international traveling more.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I just got my passport actually this year. So
Oh,
I just
nice. You're
got.
making use of it.
Absolutely, no question. I'm already trying to set up another cruise for 2025. So there's
Nice.
no question about that. I'm a huge travel person. I like adventure. I like seeing different cultures and different things. So that's just me. In general.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's amazing.
Um, I'm a sport person, Ashley. So I got to ask you a sports favorite question.
Please.
Favorite sport that you like to watch on TV. Favorite sport you like to attend in person. They could be the same sport.
Oh, it's the same. I'm a football girly. I'm from the South, UGA, go dogs, of course.
Mhm.
But I'm a huge sports person myself. And any chance I get, I try to go to a sporting event in each city I travel to. So when I came to Chicago, I went to Hispanic Heritage Night at the Sox game last year. I've gone to a Bulls game, all of that before I even moved here. Recently, I went to a Blackhawks hockey game and genuinely love any sport I can watch.
Okay, okay. Now listen, next time I come to Chicago, you still there? I might have to say what's up to you now, for
Oh, heck
sure.
yeah. There's
Let's check it
so
out.
much to do out here.
Absolutely. Now, have you converted over to being a deep dish pizza? Because you know Chicago is known for the deep dish.
I'm on the spot right now. I'm an outlier. I'm probably the only person who does not like Chicago pizza. Um,
Oh,
they please
oh,
explain to me. Please, please, please explain to me. Maybe this is more the tavern style pizza, but they cut
mhm.
them into squares and put
Yep,
the toppings underneath the cheese. So
yep,
when I bite it, the toppings and the cheese all come off. And
yep.
then tell me how one time I had a pizza here, and
Mhm.
the jalapenos that were on it were the same size as the square. I had to eat the pizza with a fork. Controversial opinion, but please
Sure,
explain
because
to
you
me
don't.
what is going on in
Ah,
these kitchens.
ah. Well, okay, so I'll break it down for you. You know, different places have different styles of pizza. Chicago is definitely known for their deep dish, and when they do deep dishes, they're known for putting those toppings underneath, right? And being able to have that sauce and that gooiness when you do that. I love it because I love eating. It's a rarity that they do pizzas like that because most pizzas you just eat with your hand. You don't eat with a fork, but it's like again, it's so deep, and it's so the square, it's square like. They're the only place I know that I've ever been to that cuts their pieces up in rectangular squares,
Hmm.
or rectangular or squares.
Yep,
But it's
yep.
just so deep. It's just so deep, and you don't even know. The thing is, Ashley, is that when you are eating this pizza, you never know like how many toppings is in it. You never know like how much sauce is in it, but it's just so good. It's so gooey. And I love it. I love that deep dish. Now I know you're a vegetarian, as you said before. So I was thinking maybe you had a cheese like deep dish pizza or something like that. But you said
Yeah,
that's
I mean, yeah, the pizza, anytime I do eat pizza, it's cheese with jalapenos on top. I
oh,
love spicy food, and then I have to have ranch, like 3 ranches on the side. I will eat all of it, and my favorite
mm.
part of the pizza is the ranch.
Okay. Okay. That's different. I ain't gonna lie about that. You know, pizza and ranch. I've heard pizza and wings. I've heard ranch and wings, sorry.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
haven't heard ranch and pizza before.
You
But
haven't. Oh my gosh, I can't eat pizza at all unless I have ranch.
okay. You know, listen, hey, we all to each his own. We all have our quirks about eating, and that's cool. I'm with that. I gotta see it. I gotta see that in person to see how it tastes because I've just never had that combination before.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the weirdest thing I do. I put ranch on mashed potatoes. What else? I mean, I put ranch on anything, genuinely anything.
I've heard fries, I've heard wings, I've heard celery. I'd be damned if I heard mashed potatoes though. I have not heard mashed potatoes before.
Mashed
Okay, well,
potatoes are a form of a potato, and fries are a form of a potato. So,
yeah, and when you put it like that, then it's not as kind of stretched out. Because you're right. Because I've heard
yeah,
people different fries into the ranch before. I just
yeah.
haven't seen that combination of ranch and pizza. But I'm sure there's a lot of people that do it. I'm sure, and I'm not against ranch. I do like ranch on my wings, and as you know, that's probably something that's more familiar that you've heard ranch and wings before.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And hey, before I was vegetarian, I loved me a good 20 count lemon pepper wing, extra wet, all flats. Like, don't get me wrong.
Ashley, I'm gonna have to turn up with you there when I get there to Chicago now. It sounds like a good time. I'm like that. I like that. It's pretty awesome.
Sorry, my cat just got in the background.
You are all good. No worries. Last of the favorites. Favorite restaurant that you like to eat at? Obviously I know Chicago pretty well, but
Yeah.
there may be some new things that goes on there that, maybe a new restaurant you might tell me that I should check out.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have two. I'll save one of them for last because it'll surprise you. Let me look up the name super quick. Oh my gosh, what was it? Oh,
Okay.
Via Carducci is an Italian restaurant in
Mm,
I think it's the Wicker Park area.
yep.
I just had it last weekend. Amazing pasta. I'm pretty sure it's authentic Italian. The vibes are nice. So that was really good. But my all-time favorite restaurant, I'm embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. It's my brand, Taco Bell. Favorite restaurant
There you go.
ever.
Damn it, you have just became a bestie. That's all I have to say. You became a bestie right there,
Bestie.
Ashley. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. No one has said that on, and I've had hundreds of episodes. Not a soul has said Taco Bell is
I'm
their first
so
favorite.
happy to be that person for you.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. I really do because I'm a huge Nacho Bell Grande person. Huge on Nacho Bell Grande.
Yep, yep.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Love.
Let's talk about your day to day. You mentioned it a little bit before in the beginning of how you work overnight. Obviously, in journalism, our days are never the same. Hours and shift can range from overnight to morning to night side. I mean, just various different times. We do not work the business hours of what a lot of our friends do. The 8 to 4s, 9 to 5s, 10 to 6s. So talk to me about your process of getting ready because overnights is difficult. Not a lot of people do it. I've done it before at different occupations, but just do it in this job is tough, period. So talk to me about your process of getting ready to do overnight. What do you do as an overnight media specialist? What do you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like you said, journalism is different every day. So prior to the job I had now, I would work like 14 to 17-hour shifts going live on TV for so many different stations across the country. And so that was super different every day traveling across the US. But now I'm a little more stationary in the sense that I stay in Chicago, so I'm not traveling because I am going to school full time. But I work 40 hours a week, and that's over the course of 4 days, or really, I should say, 4 nights slash morning.
Right.
Like you said, I work overnight. So I'll give you a Wednesday, for example. So Wednesday, I'll go to class from morning to afternoon, and then I try to be asleep as early as I can, maybe 3 p.m., maybe 4 p.m. Some days 6 p.m., and that's really late for me because I have to be up at 11 p.m. Wednesday nights. And then
Wow.
I have to Uber to work, and then I'm working a full 8 hour shift on Thursday morning. Whenever I get out of my Uber, they're like, "Have a good night." And I'm like, it's the start of my day. And so I'm a digital content producer with NewsNation based in Chicago.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm still a reporter, and but it's in the newsroom. I'm not going out and interviewing people, which I will say I miss that aspect of things.
Sure.
Um And then after my shift, I at 8 a.m. I will take a bus to class and do the whole thing all over again. Um,
Wow.
yeah, for multiple days in a row. But luckily today is Sunday, so I will get to sleep and then have a normal day tomorrow.
So yeah, because you talked about the 4 nights. So is it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday? Because you get 3 nights off. Is that your nights off
Yeah, those
particularly?
are my nights off. So then I work 12-hour shifts Saturday and Sunday. So that's where the 40 hours comes from over the 4 days. And I know
Oh,
it sounds like a lot, but I like to say, there are 24 hours in a day. I really believe in hustling. I mean, you need to take care of yourself sometime, but at this point in my life, I'm here to hustle and I'm in survival mode, baby. We're doing it.
I love it. And listen, you look absolutely incredible. I should have said that at the beginning of
Thank you.
Sorry about that, but the reason why I'm saying that is that you are right. The hustle and bustle is something that you're about. You do have to take care of yourself. You're doing that. That's why I mentioned that. But also being able to understand that there's always give and take with every role that we do. Right? I mean, yes, you work overnight. Most people sleep overnight, but when you get off days like this, and in the week, especially the weekdays, everybody else is going to work, and you got the rest of your day to do whatever you want to do. All right. And I'm not sure what your school schedule is, but for me personally, Ashley, I loved online classes. And the reason why I loved online classes is because it gave me time, obviously more time to get up and do what I wanted to do, but I didn't have to go to school a lot. And that's what actually I'm doing now because I'm based in Minnesota. So a lot of
Oh,
my classes has been online. I just got great alumni fees because they love when alumni come back to the school, as you
yeah.
probably. So I was able to do the majority of my classes online. I say majority because I want to tell you a story real quick before I get to this next question.
Yeah.
And I want you to tell me if I'm crazy or not. So I started my master's program in January of 24. And the first time that I signed up for classes, I signed up for 4 full-time classes, and I was also working full time as well. And so I would get Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday off. I work 10-hour days, okay,
Yeah.
Friday through Monday. And my school, 2 of my classes that I signed up for was in Atlanta, Georgia. As you know, Kennesaw State's there. So I would work Friday through Monday, and 2 of my classes was on Wednesday and Thursday. So there were 2 hours and 45 minutes one day each.
Mhm.
I would go to the airport on Tuesday, fly out to Atlanta, where my mom and my uncle and my aunt lived. They would come and pick me up. I would get there Tuesday afternoon. I would do my other 2 classes online that day, and I would go to class Wednesday and Thursday. And then that Friday morning, I would fly back out and then drive to work and work that Friday, and then work that entire weekend.
Yeah,
Which
that's a lot.
that's a lot. It's crazy, right? So I did that for January and to January to May, because those were the only 2 classes I pretty much had to take there because I mapped out the rest of my schedule of classes and I was like, okay, I'm able to take this either asynchronously or synchronously all online for the rest of the time. So, do you think I was crazy for doing that in January?
I don't think it's crazy because a lot of people tell me I'm crazy, and I'm like, no, 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 no. You can make
Okay.
anything work, anything
Yep.
happen. I saw, so this woman I worked for before in public relations, she is such an inspiration. I'll comment more on what you said, but this kind of goes together. She's such an
Sure.
inspiration because she owns and runs her own business and has employees. She has 2 young daughters. She has a fiance, and she has like so many other meetings in a day. I would see her work from morning to night. She would put her kids to bed and then go to a coffee shop for the last few hours they're open and work and then do it
Wow.
all over again. So I've seen that hustle. Anything is possible. So you saying that you did that, I don't think it's crazy. I do think it's a lot, and I hope you're okay. I hope your wallet's okay.
Yeah.
But hey, you made it to the other side. That's all we can do. Try it out, make it to the other side, and then I'm sure you appreciate like how hard you worked in that moment.
Oh, it was crazy. I didn't realize. Ashley, how strenuous graduate school was. Like, because I mean, it's a step up. Yes, I knew that, but taking four classes, and then the traveling from back and forth. I think the traveling wasn't the hard part. It was just making sure that all the work gets done. Because I had
Yeah,
two
there's
classes where
homework too.
I had two classes where I had to write 20 pages each, and it had to be different, uh, different assignments. And I was like, this issue is crazy. I mean, I don't think I'll ever take four classes again. And since then, I have not. But uh, that was a learning experience. It was crazy, but it was also great that my family supported me. With my mom being back there and me being able to cover sports and still do that and write stories and then come back here, drive. Yes, luckily my wallet is very good, and I did manage my money pretty well for sure. But definitely that's something that I did. So just wanted to say that because it reminded me of what you were talking about, what you're going through with full-time work, full-time school. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it, right? So I love that. It's a great segue though, because I want to talk about mental health and work-life balance. In this industry, as you know, there are times where individuals have dropped out of this industry because of work-life balance and mental health, right? I've had colleagues do it. I'm sure you've known people that have done it. My question to you is, how do you keep your mental health strong and also have that work life balance? I mean, you seem like a wonderful woman to be around. I certainly wouldn't mind hanging out with you, but you also seem like you're very busy, and you're about your business, as you should be. So tell me, how do you balance your work life, but also not experience things like burnout, and stuff like that with mental health?
Yeah, burnout is a real thing. I left the industry for a year from, it was the
Okay.
summer of 2023 up until actually up until September. I was out of the industry for about a year.
Okay.
And at that time, it was what I needed. I needed a break from news. It can be very tiring just to consume as a consumer, but then on top of it, writing about it, it's heavy. So
Right.
I took a break and it re-energized me to get back into the field. So right now I wouldn't say I'm burned out. Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah.
But I think it is important to find time to socialize with friends, or if you're close with your family, do that. Like I am in school full time and working full time, but I still make it a priority to hang out with people, whether that's during my lunch break at school for an hour, let's go walk to a coffee shop, or just recently, I went to a coffee shop with a friend and intentionally to do homework. So I could be at home doing homework by myself, or I can make time to go with a friend. So I think just being intentional, and as adults, we really have to plan when we're going to see our friends. Um, and sometimes when I get stressed, I think I become kind of like a hermit and I'll just stay at home, not want to go anywhere, not want to talk to anyone. But I catch myself and I'm like, no, don't do that. The moment you isolate, especially when you're burned out and you're possibly unhappy with your situation, that'll just make it worse. You have to just be intentional with every step of the way. And even with like going beyond that, like you got to clean your house, right? You got to do the dishes, you got to sweep, you got to do laundry, and
Yeah.
even that is just a lot on one person. So a big thing I do is I map out my day, like at this time I'm doing this, at this time I'm doing that. And if I don't get to everything, that's okay. Did I cross off one thing on my list? Great, I did
Yep.
the best I
Yep.
could today. So that's kind of how I view things.
No, I love that. I love especially that last part because I'm a huge planner. That's just naturally my personality. I like to be able to plan things out because you're the only one that really knows your schedule and you know what you have to do. You know what things you should do. You know what things you can do. But at the end of the day, if you don't get to it, it's okay. It's not something that you have to like burden yourself with that you didn't get to that schedule. But it's good to map it out, right? Because you know the hours that you work, you know your school schedule, and then you'll be like, okay, I can hang out with this person at this time. Let me allocate this time for this,
Yeah,
and do stuff like that. I'm a huge poetry person. I like writing poetry.
love poetry.
Thank you. Absolutely. It's great, right? It's awesome. I'm a huge workout person. I like to go to the gym. I'm the type of person that blasts my music so loud that I go into the gym. I'm on the treadmill, I black out. I just want to just get into the music and just think about have that quiet time with myself, even though the music's not quiet. But have that quiet, but have that quiet time to be able to just think about things that I love, like my family, my friends, my job, and just things that's upcoming. So I totally understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if you can't
But
like do a full workout, like I go and walk my dog, even if it's just 15 minutes, I view
mhm,
that as exercise. It was 15
it
minutes
is.
that I wasn't laying in my bed and I was
Mhm.
clearing my mind as well. So definitely make time to go on a walk or some sort of exercise.
I love that. I do. It goes again, great segue, and this is advice, right? What is some advice that you would give somebody that either is an intern or either is a postgraduate person, just graduated, or maybe somebody that's a little seasoned, like myself in age, right? That wants to be in this journalism field. What kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah, so I think this can apply to really any age, any stage in your career, but I really like to emphasize to younger people, whether they're in high school or college or they're interns, um, rejection is redirection and it's also God's protection. So there have been a few things, jobs, extracurriculars, or otherwise, that I wanted so bad. And when I didn't, I cried. I was like, "What? Why? I think I'm good enough, but they don't think I'm good enough. So am I good enough? I don't know."
Right.
So I had to set aside those thoughts, and I feel so much comfort in that motto, rejection is redirection, because once one door closed, another one opened. It sounds so cliche, but it's so true. And as long as you change your mindset to be positive, anytime you don't get something you want, just
Hmm.
brush it off. Um, but also don't wait to be asked to do something. So always find a way to get your name published if it's in a newspaper. Get your face on TV. So when I first started in TV news, I was in my last semester of college. It was brand new to me. It was challenging for me because I come from the print world. Um,
Yep.
and so that was a huge challenge for me. And so I really like kind of fell on my face. It was hard, but then there was a turning point for me. And so I was constantly asking questions like, how can I do better? How can I do this? I networked, I made connections. And then once I graduated, I worked at Fox 5 Atlanta, which is a top 10 TV market. And so that was
Yeah.
just right out of graduation. I'm brand new to TV. It's terrifying to me, but kind of moving into another piece of advice, if it scares you, that's a good thing. Like you should feel uncomfortable to go out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself because you're going to grow so much more. Something that was so hard for me, TV news, is where I ended up in my career, and I've been so blessed. So I feel like I went on a tangent there, but there are so many little philosophical bits and pieces you can find in there.
You did not go on a tangent. I don't know. Where have you been, Ashley? I mean, Lord have mercy. No, it's amazing advice. It really is, but it correlates to my mindset. Just to piggyback off of that, because I really love what you talked about being able to you said that rejection is just redirection, but
Yeah,
it's also protection. If I'm not mistaken, that's what you said.
yeah, definitely.
Um, so I love that. I really do. To be able to, because in this business, as you know, Ashley, you're gonna get a whole lot more no's than you'll ever get yeses. That's just the way it is. It's just going to happen like that. And a natural feeling of a lot of people that's applying to different jobs is to be down, be discouraged when you get a lot of no's. And I always tell my young boys and young girls up here, because I also substitute teach. I want to tell them and let them know, hey, it's okay if you get rejected. Sorry, looking for the word.
Yeah.
Rejected from a job that you really wanted. You should let out those emotions. Be emotional for it because it's something that you really worked hard and really wanted to, do and pursue. But as you say, as one door closes, another one opens. And I love that piece of advice. I also love the fact where you said uncomfortable. I live my life like this. I always tell people, be comfortable being uncomfortable. And
Yep.
that's not just about jobs. That's life in general, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I like to live my life like that, but especially with jobs, because there's going to be a situation where you may have to move to a city you never even heard of. You may have to move away from family and friends if this is a dream that you want. You may have to miss holidays with your family. You may have to miss celebrations with your family. You may have to do stories that might make you the most uncomfortable. But if you get into a space to where you turn those uncomfortable things into being comfortable, that really hardens you, it hardens your character, and it also shows that you can handle adversity and tough things that come your way because this business is tough. It can be that way, which is the
Abs-
reason why I have this platform here. It's really to show the A side and the B side. People need to make decisive decisions before they get into this industry because it's a fulfilling industry. It's wonderful,
mhm.
but it can also be an industry that, if you are not fully prepared for everything that encompass that, it can really be a detriment to you. So that's why I love having a platform like this.
Yeah, I love what you're doing. And this industry is not easy to be in. It's tough, and you're criticized by everybody, good
Hmm.
or bad, and somebody's going to like your article and then somebody else is going to not like it at the exact same time. So you have to have thick skin. Um, and just to kind of go back to rejection is redirection. So that has shown up in my life multiple times. For
Okay.
example, the reason I even got into TV news my last semester of college was because I was not chosen to be editor in chief of the student led newspaper, which I had been a part of since my freshman year of college. And I believed in myself. I thought I was more than qualified, but I didn't get it because I knew I did very poorly in the interview. Um,
Okay.
and so even though, my credentials spoke for themselves, I did really bad in the interview and I knew immediately. And so I kind of beat myself up over it, didn't get the position. So I was like, well, how can I challenge myself to grow as a journalist? I can write a story in my sleep, but I've never done video. So that's how I got into
Sure.
that. And then my career has just taken off for the better. And who knows where I would be if I wasn't rejected to that previous position. So really
Mhm.
believe in that statement.
I love that. I do. We have now came to the portion of the podcast episode where now we do the interactive game called This or That. Now, Ashley, what this game is basically throwing some things at you, and you get to choose this or that. Are you ready?
Ooh, I'm ready. What do I
Right, I'm with
win?
you. Well, it's not a contest, but it's definitely
You have
you're
a
not
game
playing with.
show voice. You have a game show voice. You're like, are you
Oh,
ready?
I like for you to say that. And again, you're the first one to ever say that. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really do. Um, Here we go. Now, we've been vibing all podcast episode now. So this first question is important.
Oh gosh.
Now, all right. So, which restaurant would you rather go to? And I know you said you're vegetarian, but I'm going to ask this anyway if you had to choose this.
Okay.
Popeyes or KFC?
KFC. I don't like Popeyes.
Oh my goodness. Ashley, we
I
starting off on the
know.
wrong
I'm
foot, girl.
sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We can't have it all. We've been vibing all episode long. We can't have it all. I get
And
it.
we can't. We
Okay.
can't.
Okay. Let's see if we can bounce back. Which chicken wing flavors would you rather choose?
Lemon
Uh,
pepper.
I haven't even said the flavors yet,
We
girl.
from Atlanta. That's where lemon pepper.
I was gonna, I was gonna say lemon pepper or buffalo because you said you also like spice.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay, so I can eat. So I definitely used to eat chicken wings, but now that I'm vegetarian, there are so many. They're like cauliflower wings. Um,
Mm.
made out of cauliflower, of course, but I alternate between buffalo and lemon pepper. But going
Mhm.
back to my traditional chicken wing days, lemon pepper all the way.
Okay, I'm with you on that, girl. And you said you like your wings wet as opposed to dry, right?
Yep.
Okay, now do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
Um, boneless now because that's the only option I have. In the past, it was bone in, all flat.
I don't know that's right, girl. Get a wet wipe and go to work. I know that's right.
No wet wipe needed. Just lick your finger.
Oh, okay. That's my kind of girl I like to be around. I'm trying to tell you that right now. That's what's up. I love it. Okay. You said you're a football person. So I want to ask you a couple of football questions. Okay. Which player would you rather have? Which UGA player, I should say, would you rather have? Would you rather take Stetson Bennett or Carson Beck?
Stetson Bennett, the mailman, all the way. Is that a question? I'm sorry, no shade to nobody, but if you
Right.
catch my drift, Stetson Bennett.
Feel it. I feel it, girl. Speak your damn truth. I'm with you on that. Okay, here we go. All right. Which UGA legend would you rather have? Would you rather have Todd Gurley or No Sean Moreno?
Todd Gurley, he was kind of close to my time.
He
Um,
was. He
yeah.
was. I feel you on that. Okay. Which sport would you rather play, Ashley? Badminton or bowling?
Oh gosh, I'm terrible at bowling.
Ooh,
I don't
okay,
I don't even
okay.
know if I've ever played badminton.
I'm sure in high school you had to.
Oh, is it with the birdie thing?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to play that. I'll play that.
Well, okay, I'm with you on that. Now, these next four have to do with music concerts you rather go to. So here we go.
Okay.
Which music concert are you going to? Are you going to a Jeezy concert or are you going to a T.I. concert?
Oh, Ti.
I'm with you on that. Okay,
I
let's
did
rock with
meet
it.
Jeezy one time. I don't think he was thrilled to take a photo. No shade to him either.
Hmm.
But yeah, Ti.
Okay, gotta go with Tip. I'm with you on that. Which concert would you rather go to? Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
I've been to Drake multiple times, but if we're talking about the recent beef that's been going on, I'm gonna have to go with Kendrick.
Or you gotta go with K Dot. Come on now, how can you not? I mean, yeah, but yes, I've been to a Drizzy concert too. His latest one, trash, in my opinion.
Was that with 21 Savage?
It was supposed to be, but it was with J. Cole. I
Oh,
went with the one with
I
J.
love J.
Cole.
Cole. The one I went to was 21 Savage. It was in Las Vegas.
I feel that. Okay. Now, speaking of J. Cole, which concert would you rather attend? J. Cole or Lil Wayne?
Come on, come
Mm-hmm.
on. Well, I've seen both. Love
Mm-hmm.
both. I'm sorry, Wheezy, but J. Cole is the guy. His music, love it.
Ain't no doubt. Forest Hill Drives is still one of my favorite
Oh,
albums.
all the time.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell you, still one of my favorite albums, no doubt. Okay, you got some good taste. Last of the music. Which music concert would you rather go to? Would you rather go see Brandy or Monica?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to say Brandy, but both queens.
You ain't lying. Monica's from the A now. She's from the A. So,
I
I
know,
mean,
I know.
I feel you though. I feel you got to be decisive. It's a hard decision. I would have said Brandy too, to be honest with you, but
You're
both of them
copying
are
me by
queens.
this point.
Yes, yes. Both of y'all are queens. Both of them are queens. The only one that we disagreed on was the chicken right now. That's it. But we still have a couple more for the this or that. Do you like desserts?
Um, yes, you might not can tell based off of the tone. I would say yes, but I really try to eat healthy, so I don't eat all that much.
I understand that, and listen, that's a wonderful decision to do. You should eat healthy, no question about it. But I'm gonna throw four dessert categories at you. You have to choose one of these. You'll never eat again. Okay.
Oh, never eat again. Okay.
So here we go. The first one is ice cream. The second one is cake.
Oh, cake.
The
I'll
third,
never eat cake again. I'm sorry, I just cut you off.
you did.
I feel
Hold
so
on.
passionately about cookies and cream ice cream, just like I do about Taco Bell, okay?
Are you? I'm being okay. I'm gonna be dead ass when I say this. Like, are you serious? Cookie and cream is your favorite?
Yeah. What is your favorite?
The same. Cookies
Oh,
and
I thought you
cream.
were gonna talk crap on cookies and cream.
No, no, like that's crazy how much we have in common. That's great. Seriously. I'm Breyer's cookies and cream, Mayfield cookies and cream all the way. Even Bluebell. I'm serious. Yes.
Bluebell.
Seriously. That's
I'm good
crazy.
with the great value brands. Like, just give me
That
cookies and cream.
well, I'm good with that too. But if I had a choice, it'd be that blue Breyers, and you know what I'm talking about. That cookies
Yeah,
and cream. That's my favorite.
yeah. Have you
Okay.
had
Okay.
Brewster's ice cream?
No, I have not. Mm-mm.
Oh my God, Brewster's. It's like it's a shop. Like you go in person. You don't go inside. It's like the outside. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, hold on. You say Brewster's?
Brewster's, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. That's right outside of yeah, I've had that in Atlanta, Georgia. They got
Yes,
it
I
right
know.
next to
That's
the
why I'm
stadium.
like, oh, I was
Yeah.
confused that you didn't know it. But I think they have the best ice cream.
You know what? And that's okay. That is a debatable topic because Cold Stone is something that I really love too. Cold Stone. But man, Brewster's is really good too. I used to live right around the corner from Brewster's, right there.
Oh,
Yeah, because you know Kennesaw State had it. Their stadium is right there. You walk right down the street. Brewster's is right there. So
nice.
absolutely. Okay. So do you like potato chips?
I do.
Okay. So this is the same format. I'm gonna throw four brands at you, and you get to choose one of these. You'll never eat again. So here we go.
Okay, great.
The first brand is Lay's. The next brand is Ruffles. The third brand is Doritos.
Okay.
The last brand is Pringles. Which one are you getting rid of?
Um, Doritos, I guess.
Wow. Okay.
What?
I no judgment here on this one. No judgment here. As long as you didn't say Ruffles. Ruffles would have been a judgment. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because the greatest chip ever made is sour cream and cheddar. Ruffles.
Are you kidding me? That's what I get all the time from I said I eat healthy. I get that all the time from the vending machine at school for my snack. And I'm like, dang, I should have just bought the big bag at the grocery store. That's what I
I
eat.
tell you, wow. Yeah, no, that's my favorite chip. But seriously, what I do whenever I make a sandwich or have a sandwich, I put the chips in the middle, I crunch it up, and I eat it. So I eat
That
the chips.
sounds
I eat it like
good.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I do that all the time. It was ever since I was in Atlanta, Georgia. My mom moved us there, and I seen one of my friends do it at that time, and I was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, I'm putting the chips in the middle and I crunch them up." I was
Yeah.
like, "Really?" And I was like, "Okay." So I tried it, and it was good. So if it's not Ruffles sour cream and cheddar, then it's Lay's sour cream and onion, and that's how I do the same thing as well. So,
Love
okay,
it. Love it.
that's what's up. I like that. Look at you. I love that. You got some good taste. I love asking this next question, especially to people in our industry. If journalism wasn't something of a career that you pursued, what career path would you have chosen to do and why?
Well, I will be doing it. The plan is law school is next. Criminal law. That is what I always planned to do, even before journalism. And so after doing journalism, my new career goal has kind of become so be a lawyer, obviously, but there are so many lawyers who are consultants as experts on TV newscasts. So
Mhm.
one day I hope to contribute in that way so I can mix my two loves, the law and journalism.
You certainly have definitely the passion for it. There's no question about that. I think you would be amazing. I certainly will go to you for advice. I think you'll be well prepared and something that you would be able to, be a great advocate for. So yeah, I
Thank
truly
you.
hope you get that. No, no question, no doubt. I think for me it would be theater. I'm huge into plays, huge into musicals. That's something that I love to do. I'm Chris every single day, so to be able to be somebody else, act on stage, do something that's unique, I like that. So yeah, I would definitely choose theater for
I
sure.
wish I had a cooler answer like you had.
No, I mean yours is cool too. I mean law. There's not a lot of people that have the patience. Number one, to go to law school because law school takes a lot of patience and a lot of due diligence, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I think yours is cool too. I love the arts. I love just doing. If it wasn't writing, like because I'm on the print side of journalism predominantly. If it wasn't that, then it would definitely be theater for sure.
That's amazing. I just saw a play the other day, local. So it was a local play here in Chicago, and
Okay,
it was about not that you asked, but
so
I
you're
was
good.
sharing
You're
anyway.
good.
It was so interesting. It was about a woman who lost the presidential election in America, but the year was 2044. And
Wow.
the director or the playwright of the play started developing this in 2019, long before Kamala Harris was running and
Yeah.
obviously lost the election. But it was such an interesting parallel from the play to real life, and the play was in the future. So, really interesting. But I have to ask you, are you a Wicked fan and are you going to see the movie?
1000%. Definitely a Wicked fan. It's in my top three of musicals.
Love it.
Definitely want to see the movie as well. Typically, Ashley, sometimes the movies don't do it justice, but I'm gonna give it a chance. Obviously, with Ariana Grande being in it, she's definitely a talented singer, so I would love to hear how she sounds in it for sure. I would say Rent and Hairspray are my next two of my top three, for sure. Because I in high school I acted in Les Miserables, and I
Nice.
also did High School Musical as well. So those were my two that I did. In plays for high school, and then yeah, those are my top three. So yes, I am going to see Wicked for sure.
Oh, that's amazing. I did the Jungle Book in fifth grade, so that's my claim to fame.
Oh, okay, okay. Now, who were you in the Jungle Book?
I was a wolf and I think I had like one line, but whatever. I still remember the opening line that I had, and like I was going
Sure.
like this. Anyway,
Mm.
weird.
I know. I feel it. Jungle Book is definitely probably top three of my animated movies.
Yeah.
For sure. I love me some Jungle Book. They definitely have my favorite songs ever in that movie for sure.
Yeah.
This next question I want to ask you is, and actually next two, they're both top fours. I want to get a top four from you as far as stories that you have done that you are proud of while being in this industry. What is the top four of stories?
Top four. Mine are pretty heavy topics.
Okay. Okay.
Um, one or a couple, since I went multiple times, was in Uvalde, Texas, where, as we know, 19 children were shot and killed, and then two teachers as well.
Heard about that.
So in
Yep.
South Texas, and it was just an hour and a half away from where I used to live and report. And I know, South Texas is a very unique, has a unique culture and community. So anyway, I went out there and I got to interview the parent of one of the victims, and it was such a tough time. I'm proud of the coverage because I didn't just parachute in and leave and never come back. The
Right.
Starbucks work employees recognized me. I made connections with locals, and I was just really proud of that coverage. And it was really hard, and it sticks with me to this day. Um,
Sure.
but in addition to that, I covered the 5-year anniversary of the Las Vegas massacre, in which I don't want to get the
Yeah.
wrong, but I believe 61 people died. It was either 59 or 61, but a lot of
You
people.
talking about the concert that happened and the
Yes,
shooter? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yep,
Mhm.
that concert.
Yep.
And I spoke with a man who he attended. He's a musician himself, and he saved 10 people's lives. Like he had a pickup truck, and he was running back and forth from the sidewalk to his pickup truck, pulling people's bodies, that I believe they were still alive, and he transported them to the hospital. And he's going through this in real time, but he jumped into action. So him telling me his story, it was really impactful, and I was really happy to tell that story, given the circumstances. But
Sure.
so you said top four, right?
Yes, indeed.
Another one I have. So this was when I was in local news in Laredo, Texas. So that's on the border. Um, And one of my favorite artists is Selena Quintanilla. She's
Mm.
deceased, but her one of her bandmates and also a co-writer on one of her most famous songs, Como la Flor. I got to meet that band member. So his name is P. Astudio. And I got to meet him at his studio where he was recording a brand new song at the time. This was a few years ago. And so it was just so amazing to get to meet someone who knew Selena and worked with her. And one of my favorite songs ever, I met one of the co-writers. So I loved doing that story. And then number
Wow.
four, oh my goodness, what is I've covered so many things that they're all just like jumbling in my brain right now.
Those
Um,
are three amazing stories that you just told me. That's amazing. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, really interesting. I guess another one would have to be I did a lot of immigration coverage at the border, and again, that's another tough topic, but I was able to ride on one of the horses that the U.S. Customs and Border Protection they use those horses to patrol really remote ranches, and that's where a lot, some people cross through when they're crossing the border. But it was just a unique experience getting to meet the horses and see what their role and function was in that
Mm.
process.
I love that. I do. I appreciate that, Ashley. No doubt about it. Let me get also a top four from you as far as events you would like to cover. And for instance, I'll give you just examples. For me, it would be Super Bowl, no particular order, Olympics, for sure, since it's going to be in a state that I kind of grew up in, which is San Diego, or state, sorry, California. I want to do an NBA Finals. I'm huge into basketball. And I want to do a World Series. And hopefully my Padres are in it. That'd be amazing. But just a World Series in general. With an honorable mention being a national championship game. Could be college football or college basketball, either or.
Yeah.
So what would be a top four of events that you would love to cover?
Yeah, so you probably don't know this, but I definitely have wanted to be a sports reporter myself, but I feel like it's really challenging to go from news to sports in the sense that maybe you're just not taking us seriously. Oh, what does she know about sports? But I definitely would love to cover some of what you have already said, not to copy you. Um,
No, go ahead.
like a UGA National Football Championship, how freaking cool would that be? I
Mhm.
almost did actually get to cover the World Series when the Braves was in it.
Oh man.
Tell
Oh, I
me, it was
remember
when
that.
Freddie Freeman was still with the Braves. Was it
It was
22 or
2021. It was my
2021?
last year in Georgia for sure. I knew that.
Okay.
And I remember being at the at Truist Park, but I was on the outside. We were watching on the big screen, so I remember that.
Nice. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So my boss called me. I was a national news reporter at the time, and I was based in Las Vegas.
Hmm.
Um, and he called me and he was like, "Hey, are you vaccinated?" And at the time, I was not. So I don't want to get into controversial vaccine opinions here, but I'm just, telling the story. But at the time, I was not. And I was like, why? And he said, well, you might be able to cover the World Series, but the MLB requires all reporters to be vaccinated. I said, okay, no problem. I will schedule an appointment right this moment. So 2 days after that phone call, I get vaccinated. I send him a picture of my card, my boss at the time, and
Sure.
he's like, "Oh, that's okay. We got someone to cover it."
Oh my gosh.
So I
Oh.
didn't get to cover the World Series.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ashley. What's going on, boss? What's going on,
Braves
man?
on the inside, and I'm a Braves fan and from
Mhm.
Atlanta. Like how and why?
I feel that. I feel that. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so so you saying that you would love to cover a World Series? That'd be one of yours. One of
Yeah,
your events.
yeah. Honestly,
Okay,
any of those sports events that you said, but I guess in addition to that, I want to report on a presidential election from Washington, D.C. So I
uh,
have gotten to play my role in reporting this election cycle, but it was not as active as I would have liked to be. And
sure.
it obviously was not in DC. So, one of these elections, I would love to report from Capitol Hill, from the White House, uh, something like that. Um, a third and fourth one, what would I want to do? So I haven't really gotten into entertainment news, but when I lived in Vegas, I saw all these local reporters interviewing a lot of the famous people who come through. So I think it could
Sure.
be cool to like work a red carpet and interview people who pass through,
I
whatever the
was
topic.
just thinking that. I
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
was just thinking that for you. I really was. Go ahead.
Yeah, whatever the topic might be, I think that would be so cool. That's all I got so far. I'll have to think about it.
No, you're good. I was thinking literally like after the two that you mentioned, because I was like, you know what? I think Ashley would be amazing on the red carpet, like
Oh,
doing a
thank
either.
you.
Yeah, because just how your personality is, I think people would stop and actually talk to you, and I think you would have some very interesting questions to be able to ask and engaging questions to ask. Some either Oscars or Grammys, music, movies. Didn't I don't think it would
Would be
matter. I
so
just
cool.
think people would be able to stop and talk to you and wouldn't mind talking to you. So I was thinking about that for sure.
Oh, I really appreciate that. I like to think I can get people to talk to me, even like the more reserved type of people. So, thank you.
You are very, very welcome. No doubt about that. What is some advice that someone has gave you? Right, we talked about advice you would give someone, but what is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Yeah, so one of my mentors who I mentioned earlier in this conversation, Dodie Cantrell, she always says, go fight, win. But she says it in such a like upbeat way. Go fight, win. Like it's just, and she's
Hmm.
especially said that in the moments of when I was struggling. So I think that
Okay.
more so is why like that sticks out in my mind. Like go fight, win. Like even when things are tough, go fight, win. Um, I'm sure there are some other things that are going to come to mind, and I'm going to be annoyed that I didn't say it, but that's what comes to mind first.
That's okay. This Dodie seems like a wonderful woman, which is amazing. Because you mentioned her a couple times now.
Yeah.
Go fight, win. I mean, yeah. Who doesn't want to get pumped up after somebody says that, regardless of how you're feeling, right? So I totally love that. We are getting towards the end of the podcast episode, Ashley. So now it's time for rapid fire. Okay, so the first thing that comes to your mind based upon these questions, you just go ahead and shout it out as loud as you want. Okay, so here we
That's
go.
a terrible thing for you to ask me to do because the way I talk is the way I
Hmm.
think. So it's always rapid fire. And sometimes I have to catch myself and I'm like, what are you saying? Close your mouth.
No, no, don't do that. Listen, be as explicit as you want to be. I mean, on here, that's okay. Listen, you're on the work hard, play harder podcast. That's what we do. I live my life like that, and you're eventually gonna live your life like that as well, as we mentioned before. So let's get to it. All right,
All
burgers or
right.
tacos?
Tacos,
Okay, waffles or pancakes?
waffles,
Okay, ribs or chicken?
neither.
I was trying to see if I can get you on that, but but you did. You did. Okay, here we go. All right, favorite color?
Pink.
Okay. Favorite board game?
Favorite board game? Oh my gosh. You said rapid fire. The only one I own right now is Life.
Okay,
No,
we'll
I
roll
own
with it.
Monopoly too. Sorry. One of those.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, which one? Monopoly or Life?
Monopoly.
Okay, here we go. Uh, Don Omar or Wisin E. Yandel?
So, I don't know those people.
Okay, I got one for you. Ozuna or Romeo Santos?
Ozuna.
Oh, you knew. Okay, you knew them. You knew them right off the bat. Okay, here we go. Favorite alcoholic drink?
Tequila.
Oh, are we an 1800 person? Are we Tito's? I mean, what kind of tequila are we talking about?
So usually Patron Silver,
Oh,
tequila.
okay,
I did
okay.
have, so I went to Las Vegas back in September and I was very fortunate to have some Don Julio 1942. And can I just say that was so good?
You ain't got to convince me of Sweet Talk Me, sweetheart. I know what you're talking about. Don Julio is very good. It's very
Yeah,
good. Pricey, but very good. No question.
exactly.
Okay, I'm with you on that. All right. If you had three people to take on a vacation plus you, which would equal four, who would you take and where would you go?
So is this hypothetical like celebrities or is this people in my life?
It could be either or. It's up to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go with celebrities,
Okay.
including the ones who have passed on. I
Okay.
would bring Selena, um,
Okay.
Tupac, and
Okay.
Marvin Gaye.
Girl, you are wowing me right now. I like that. What you know about some Marvin Gaye? You know about some Marvin Gaye?
Are you kidding me? I got multiple of his vinyl records, and the car I used to have until I got rid of it when I moved to Chicago. My car's name
Mhm.
was Marvin Gaye. My other car's name was Ray Charles, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, girl, we definitely gonna have to stay in contact because you are definitely my kind of vibe. That's straight up. That's awesome. I've yet to meet somebody that has mentioned that they like Marvin Gaye or Ray Charles on this
Oh my
platform.
gosh. It's
I've
so
yet to.
interesting because my Mexican father would always play Motown and like 70s R&B growing
Yep.
up. So that's where
Mhm.
it comes from.
I love it. Well, speaking of music, if there was three artists or three songs that you would never get tired of and you can continuously keep them on repeat,
Mhm.
who would those artists be or those songs that you would choose?
Kissland by The Weeknd.
Yeah, I like that.
Life Goes On by Tupac.
I like that.
And All My Life by J. Cole and 20. Is it 21? No.
You
Yeah.
talking about I think it's Cole and is it Dirk?
Oh,
Cole
Lil
Lil
Durk.
Dirk?
Duh. Oh my God. Free Dirk. But um,
Yeah, straight up, no doubt. Okay, now see, I love that. Now, okay, I got a couple more to rapid fire, but I want to ask you: have you listened to the All My Life remix with Trevor Jackson?
I have not.
So Trevor Jackson did a T mix to the song called All My Life, which is really good. I think you definitely should check that out. YouTube it, however you want to do it. Tupac is my favorite rapper of all time. Of course, growing up in the West Coast, love Tupac. Probably one of my favorite, or it's hard for me to pick a favorite with Tupac. But have you ever read the book, The Rose That Grew from Concrete?
Absolutely. I have it literally right
So
behind
do
me.
I. Okay,
Yep.
okay. So you know about the poetry book. Okay, got you, got you.
Absolutely. And I was gonna get the rose tattooed on me, but you gotta save for that and you gotta have time for tattoos, but it's on my list.
Straight up. Okay. And then obviously with Marvin Gaye, I am probably that's probably one of my favorite Motown artists, if not the favorite. Uh but okay, so my favorite songs of his is when he did duets with Tammy Terrell. If you are familiar with that, when he did some of his duets with her, as long also the song of um not Let's Get It On, but it's Sexual Healing. I don't know why it was leaving me. Sexual Healing is my favorite song of his. And we ain't got to get into why, but you already know if you know Marvin Gaye. That's what it is.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, yes. I
Okay,
love
that's my
him. But
favorite.
you just unlocked a memory in my head for some reason. Aaliyah, At Your Best, You Are Loved. That has to go back to the previous question of songs on my list.
Okay,
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah that's the best.
Mhm.
That's right. All right. So you know about Aaliyah too. Okay, got you. Absolutely. Okay. Favorite TV show.
Mm. Gilmore Girls.
Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting that one.
I actually like girly shows and trash reality TV, which I feel like is very different from the other sides of my personality. So,
Sure, sure. I mean, listen, you got to be kind of just diverse, right?
uh,
Not a lot of people know that, One Tree Hill is probably one of my favorite shows. Um,
no way.
right? No, right? Nobody knows that, but it
Yeah,
is. I truly do like One Tree Hill. I also like Breaking Bad as well. So that's two
love
ends of the
Breaking
spectrum.
Bad.
Right. But those shows are not correlating. They're not parallel at all. They're like
No.
two ends of the spectrum, right? So that's what I like. I do.
So the
Um,
actors from Breaking Bad are actually really nice. They had an event in Vegas where they were debuting their mezcal line, and
mhm.
they are very funny while they're under the influence. Can I just say that?
Okay, I'm with you on that. That's what's up. I will be in Vegas next April because I plan on going to WrestleMania,
Oh my
and doing
gosh.
that.
Is that John Cena's last one? Is that the one
Yeah,
he's in?
yeah,
Stop.
yeah.
I think I looked at tickets and they were too much for me, but I don't know.
They, so when last time I saw it, it was like six something a ticket. But what
Yeah.
I wanted to do was I was wanted to try to see if I can go and hop on a network to get it covered. So I'm actually still thinking about that too, to be able to do that. So
Oh, that'd be dope. Yeah.
that would be dope. But yes, either way, I will be there that weekend in April for sure.
Nice.
Last of the rapid fire. If you had a choice of doing Jane as a reporter or print, like being in front of the camera broadcast or print, which one would you do if they told you, Ashley, you can only do one for the rest of your career?
Yeah, so I have to elaborate on this one. I will have to say TV news MMJing, but not because I care to see myself on TV, but because I feel like I have so much more to do when putting together a story. So in print, you're just writing. And don't get me wrong, like I came from print, I'm a print baby, I love print. But when I got into TV news, I discovered a new love for shooting video and editing video. So a lot of
Yep.
MMJs, they don't have anyone helping them out. And I actually prefer that. Like, I don't want to be a TV news reporter who just talks on the camera and then that's it. Like, I love doing the dirty work, dirty work. And so I really miss editing video and shooting video. So that's the biggest thing that I miss and would want to do.
I love that. I do. I really love that answer. Have you been to a Cubs game? You mentioned a lot of different sports, but have you been to Wrigley Field yet?
I have. I did. They
Okay.
won. It was
Okay.
back in August when I first moved here.
Okay, because I figured that you say you was a Braves fan, so I figured you might be going to a Braves Cubs game when they come back out there again to, support your Braves or whatnot. So I didn't know if you had went to Wrigley Field. I certainly have as well. It's probably one of my favorite ballparks I've ever been in my life. So I
Yeah, it's
love
a
Wrigley
cool
Field.
ballpark. I don't know what it is, but I think I kind of like the Sox better, which sucks because they don't win.
Yeah,
Um,
you ain't wrong.
but
Mhm.
that was the first MLB game I went to in Chicago. So I feel partial towards the Sox.
I understand, and they need more fans like you. They need a lot more fans like you, for sure. No
I
question
tend
about it.
I tend to like losing teams, like the Falcons, like
Well, technically, the Falcons are not a losing team now. They are, I believe, first place in the NFC South in their division, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken. And
Kirko, shout out Kirko, but the issue for me is that I watched the 26 let's not talk about the Super Bowl.
yeah, we don't need to bring up 28-3. We don't need to bring that up. Please, we don't
Yeah,
need.
let's move on. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember. I was living there too. Well, this has been a pretty dope conversation, Ashley. It really has. I mean, learning about your beginnings, being growing up in Georgia, going to UGA, football school, SEC, huge win last night over those Volunteers. Also talking about you being a digital content producer, you going to school full time and working full time, really embodying the phrase of work hard and slash play harder, even though you don't do much playing, but still, you're working very hard doing what you do. You gave great advice. I loved your stories that you covered. I know you're going to do dope stories after this as well. Um, Again, I really appreciate your time. I can't believe how alike we are. It would be absolutely amazing to be in your presence. No question about it.
Thank you.
As I always say, to end my podcast episodes, the final question is there anything else you would like to add about yourself, the job, or in general before we conclude?
Yeah, I appreciate that question. Um, I feel like that's the one that put me most on the spot for some reason. Because that's the question I always end with people as well. And you would think I'd be
Absolutely.
more prepared. Um, I just think, we didn't go too much into or like into I guess my background more so in terms of like growing up and why I work as hard as I do, which we don't have to get into. But what I do want to say is that anyone listening, you can either become your situation or you can overcome it. And I've
Mm.
chosen to overcome a lot of the challenges in my life. And I made it out on the other side. And I think, beyond extenuating circumstances, if you put your mind to it, you put your hustle in, you work hard, you can overcome your situation, whatever it might be.
I love that. And listen, we may have a part two to where you can express yourself and be able to talk about that situation in its entirety if you want to. I want you to enjoy your Sunday off and enjoy the rest of your 3 days that's coming that have off. And just thank you again for hopping on my podcast. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me. All right, bye.